50 Cent and his mother, Sabrina Jackson, have been having a conversation in hip-hop for decades. Now that topic is suddenly back in the spotlight after King Harris, the 21-year-old son of T.I. and Tiny, posted a video telling 50 Cent to go dig up his late mother and post a picture of her grave. Since that moment, the internet has been non-stop about it. So let's break down how this whole situation even started and why it hits differently when you know the full story behind 50 Cent and his mother. To understand why King Harris ended up on camera saying something like that about 50's mom, we have to rewind to the beginning of the feud. And honestly, the start of this beef isn't that complicated. It goes back to the Versus platform. T.I. recently revealed that he no longer respects 50 Cent because of what happened around their rumored Versus matchup. In a clip from an upcoming episode of $1 Million Worth of Game that co-host Gilly the Kid posted online, T.I. explained what allegedly happened behind the scenes with the battle that never came together. For anyone who might not remember, Versus was the platform where two artists faced off by playing hits from their catalogs. During and after the pandemic, it became a massive cultural moment. Fans loved watching legendary artists trade classic records in real time. According to T.I., he and 50 Cent had already discussed doing one together. Tip said the idea was about celebrating each other's music more than anything else. He even explained, me and this and asterisk had talked about this. I didn't just call him out randomly. This wasn't something that came out of nowhere. We were moving around in Los Angeles doing shows together. Though from T.I.'s perspective, this wasn't some situation where he randomly challenged 50 out of nowhere. According to Tip, the conversation had already happened privately. They had talked about it, worked together, and even performed shows together in La. T.I. says they had a plan. He would bring the idea up publicly first, and then 50 would respond afterward. But once T.I. mentioned the possibility of a Versus battle in public, he claims 50 acted like he had no idea what he was talking about. Imagine making a private agreement with someone. They tell you to announce it first, and then when you actually do it, they suddenly act confused. That's what T.I. says happened, and it's the reason he felt disrespected. T.I. didn't hold back when speaking about 50 Cent after that situation. When the Versus battle never happened, Tip made it clear how he felt. I don't want to stand on stage with him. I don't respect him, he said. And those are strong words coming from T.I. When Tip says he's lost respect for someone, he usually means it. He even doubled down in the comment section online, writing, "You playing on my name when only one of us a rat in real life. You know I got your paperwork, right? My transcript is available online. Your excuse is useless. Get your hoe ass in the box or Stevie you and live in fear, you soft son. You've lost my respect." So yes, T.I. went all the way there. He called 50 soft. He hinted that he had paperwork. He even accused him of being a rat. And in hip-hop culture, that accusation is one of the most serious things you can say about another artist. Once those comments went public, the situation immediately started heating up. The entire situation began with T.I. claiming 50 ducked the Versus battle they had discussed. But instead of responding by setting the battle up, 50 did what 50 Cent always does. He started trolling. If you've followed 50's career at all, you know his strategy in beefs is a little different from everyone else's. He doesn't immediately drop diss tracks or jump on live streams yelling. Instead, he posts jokes, memes, and sarcastic captions until the other person becomes the punchline. That's exactly what he did with T.I. But then one post took things to a completely different level. The tension exploded again after 50 Cent shared a post that included a photo of T.I.'s wife, Tiny Harris. In the caption, he warned T.I. to keep his name out of his mouth. That post instantly caught attention online, and it didn't take long for T.I.'s son, King Harris, to react. That picture is really what shifted everything. What started as a normal rap feud suddenly became personal, because once someone's wife or mother gets dragged into it, the situation changes from industry beef to family business. And that's when King Harris stepped into the conversation. There's an unspoken rule in arguments between men that bringing someone's partner into the fight is crossing a line. But 50's post featuring Tiny sparked an immediate reaction from King Harris, the 21-year-old son of T.I. and Tiny. On Sunday, February the 22nd, the young rapper took to his Instagram stories with an explicit heated rant after the 50-year-old mogul posted that unflattering photo of his mother. And to be clear, King isn't just a random person jumping into a celebrity feud. He's the oldest of the three children T.I. and Tiny share together, including his brother Major Falant, who is 17, and their younger sister heiress Diana Harris, who is 9. King has been in the public eye his entire life. Fans watched him grow up through the family's reality shows, and he's been building his own identity as a rapper. Over the years, he's also made it clear that when it comes to defending his family, he's not the type to stay quiet. So when 50 posted that photo of Tiny, King reacted immediately. In the caption of the post, 50 wrote, "I keep saying keep my name out your mouth." Underneath the post, King responded directly in the comments, writing, "Ready for war and ready to get messy. Where your mama comments, King." That was the first shot. King went straight for 50 in the comments section and brought up his mother. But that wasn't the end of it. Soon after, he moved the conversation to his Instagram stories. King Harris went off on 50 Cent over the weekend after the rapper mocked Tiny by posting the photo. In response, King brought up 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, during a long video rant. And this is where things became extremely personal. King filmed himself inside what looked like a car and started speaking directly to the camera without holding anything back. While talking, he referenced 50's mother, who passed away in 1983. He told 50 to post a picture of his mother and insisted that Tiny should be left out of the back and forth. The video quickly spread across social media. At one point, King questioned how 50 and other people online were raised before again bringing up his mother. Then he said something that instantly went viral. King told 50 to dig up his mother's grave and post a picture of her. He repeated it more than once. He even said 50 should go put flowers on the grave. At the same time, he defended Tiny, calling her a legend and reminding viewers about her career with Escape and her Grammy Awards. But King didn't stop there. After the video, he posted images on his Instagram story that shocked people even more. One of the pictures showed a headstone with the caption, "This where your mama at?" Another image showed a grave marker with the name Sabrina Jackson, followed by the caption, "FUB and dig up your mama." That image was not symbolic. It showed a real grave with the name of a real woman who passed away, and it was now circulating across social media for millions of people to see. King continued posting more content related to 50. On his Instagram account, he shared the gravesite showing both 50 Cent's mother and grandmother's names. He also posted a video clip of 50 in court from a case where the rapper had been accused of trampling and assaulting 3 women at a concert, along with a photo showing one of 50's sons sitting on his lap. In other words, King didn't just mention 50's mother verbally. He went searching for images tied to her burial and shared them publicly. For many people watching this unfold online, that moment felt like the line had been crossed. Now, to be fair, 50 did kick things off by posting the picture of Tiny as part of his trolling. But the question a lot of people online started asking was whether King took it too far, because there's a clear difference between posting an unflattering photo of someone who is alive and making comments about digging up someone's deceased parent. Distinction is exactly why this situation hit the internet the way it did. To really understand why King Harris's words landed so heavily, you have to know who Sabrina Jackson was and what her death meant to 50 Cent. Because this isn't just about mentioning someone's late parent. There is a very real and painful story behind it. Curtis Jackson, better known as 50 Cent, didn't have an easy start in life. He was born on July 6, 1975, to his 15-year-old mother, Sabrina Jackson, in Queens, New York. His childhood was shaped by hardship from the beginning. Sabrina was raising him alone in South Jamaica, Queens during the height of the crack era. To survive and provide for her son, she became involved in selling drugs long before Curtis was even born. Sabrina was just a teenager when she had him. At 15 years old, she was raising a child by herself in one of the toughest neighborhoods in New York City. According to interviews, Sabrina refused to depend on welfare or low-paying jobs. In a conversation with Spin magazine, 50 Cent once explained that his mother didn't see working at places like Burger King as a realistic option for the life she wanted to provide. Instead, she chose the streets. Sabrina sold drugs on Old South Road in South Jamaica and became a well-known figure in that environment. Even though women were rare in that line of work at the time, she earned a reputation and built status in the neighborhood. In an interview with The Guardian, 50 Cent once explained how that environment shaped his early view of success. He said the only people he saw with expensive cars, jewelry, and money were connected to his mother's world. Those symbols of wealth were everywhere around her, but Sabrina wasn't just a street figure to him. She was also his only parent. In another interview with Page 6, 50 Cent said his mother played both roles in his life. She was the person who nurtured him, but also the one who disciplined him. She was my mom and my dad, he explained. She pushed him to be tough and taught him not to cry easily, something he says shaped the way he handled life later on. Then, in 1983, everything changed. Sabrina Jackson died in what authorities believe was a homicide. According to reports, someone drugged her, left her unconscious inside her apartment, and then set the space on fire. 50 Cent has spoken about the incident before, saying someone likely put something in her drink and turned on the gas. Her death was never solved, no arrests were ever made, and the case remains open to this day. That is the reality 50 Cent has carried with him for more than 40 years. And that is why, when King Harris brought up Sabrina Jackson the way he did, the moment instantly struck a nerve across the internet. His mother was killed when he was just 8 years old, and to this day no one has ever been held responsible. 50 was only a child when it happened, and that loss left a mark on his life in a major way. And the way he processed it, or more accurately, didn't process it, is something he has spoken about many times in interviews. 50 Cent built an entire public image around being tough, unbothered, and the ultimate troll who never shows emotion. But when the topic shifts to his mother, that tough exterior cracks every single time. Speaking to the big issue, 50 once said shock was the best way to describe how he felt when she died. He admitted he didn't fully understand it. When you grow up with a single parent, that person becomes your whole world. Think about that for a second. When someone has two parents, losing one is devastating. But when you only have one, that person is everything. Your provider, your protector, your teacher, your friend, and your disciplinarian all rolled into one. When that one person disappears, it feels like everything disappears with them. And that's exactly what happened to 50 Cent. At first, he went into denial. In an interview with Oprah Winfrey, 50 explained that he struggled to understand what his grandmother meant when she told him she's not coming back. As a child, he convinced himself his mother was still there. Anytime someone reminded him she was gone forever, it simply didn't register. He was 8 years old. The idea that death was permanent just didn't make sense to him. His grandmother would repeat that she wasn't coming back, and he would answer, yes, she is. That's the reaction of a child whose entire world had suddenly collapsed. Later, in an interview with Larry King, 50 admitted he never really dealt with the loss in the early years. He said losing his mother at 8 meant he didn't even have the tools to process what had happened, and that's where things took a darker turn. 50 has openly said he never handled his mother's death in a healthy way. There was no therapy. There were no long conversations about emotions. Instead, he turned to the streets. After Sabrina passed away, Curtis went to live with his grandparents, but the absence she left behind completely changed the direction of his life. By the age of 12, Jackson had already started dealing narcotics. While his grandparents believed he was attending after school programs, he was actually carrying guns and bringing drug money to school. By 12 years old, he was walking the same path his mother once walked, selling drugs and navigating street life. And in many ways, it all traced back to the void her death created. 50's grandmother, Bula Jackson, stepped in and raised him after that tragedy. In the Vone documentary 50 Cent, The Origin of Me, the rapper revealed that his grandmother legally adopted him when he was young. She raised him like he was her own son, and he has always expressed deep gratitude for what she did. But even in that household, life wasn't simple. 50 explained that when he moved into his grandmother's home, several of his mother's 8 siblings were still living there. One of them, his Aunt Sylvie, was not happy about the new arrangement. She had been the youngest in the family, and suddenly the attention shifted to him. He remembered moments when his grandmother would look at him quietly before finally saying, "Come on here, baby." So even in the place that was supposed to be safe, there were moments of tension and resentment. The only person who consistently made him feel wanted was his grandmother. That's why when people mention 50 Cent's mother, they aren't just saying a name. They're bringing up the entire story of his childhood. They're referencing the murder that shaped his life and the pain that followed him into adulthood. And 50 has admitted he still carries that weight. He even created the show power book EI, Raising Kanan, which draws inspiration from his early life. While discussing the show, he spoke again about his mother and the fear he had of disappointing her. He explained that even though he got into fights in the park growing up, he was more afraid of his mother than anyone else, because she was the one person he couldn't escape. She was everything, he said. That's the word he keeps coming back to, everything, and someone took that person away from him when he was 8 years old. Hair killer was never found. Now think about what King Harris said during his rant. He told 50 Cent to dig up his deceased mother. He posted a picture of her tombstone and told him to go put flowers on the grave. That isn't just a diss. That hits the deepest nerve 50 Cent has. And anyone familiar with 50's story knows it. The internet knew it too. Soon after King's comments spread online, old clips of 50 talking about his mother started circulating again. People began reposting the interviews where he became emotional while discussing her death. Videos of him speaking with Oprah about not understanding death as a child resurfaced. Clips from his conversation with Larry King about never processing the grief were everywhere, and people were watching those moments right next to King Harris's rant. So after all of that, how did 50 Cent respond? How did hip-hop's most notorious troll react to a 21-year-old telling him to dig up his mother? On Sunday, February the 22nd, 50 posted an image of Pepe the Frog on his ever-active Instagram page. He didn't directly mention anyone in the post, but it didn't take long for fans to figure out what it was about. The comment section filled up immediately with speculation. 50 didn't say much after that. He followed it up with another post of the same frog meme and simply captioned it, LOL. That was it. No long response, no angry video, no comment var, just a meme and 3 letters, lol. And for some people watching online, that reaction was even more brutal than anything King Harris said, because 50 refused to give King the satisfaction of seeing him react emotionally. But that still leaves one question hanging in the air. Did it actually get to him? Because the reality is that 50 Cent has spoken about his mother in interviews and even cried while doing so. He has sat across from Oprah and struggled to put his feelings into words. He has told Larry King that he never truly processed the loss. And now a 21-year-old is publicly telling him to dig her up. Still, 50 continued to play it off. He posted another frog image with the caption lol, and commenters joked that the meme was meant to resemble King Harris. Then he escalated the trolling. 50 shared a clip of 2 online personalities roasting Tiny's appearance and pointing out that King resembles his mother. One of the hosts joked, "If my wife looked like that, may God bless America." Another compared Tiny to wrestling legend Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and then T.I. stepped back into the fight as well. According to TMZ, T.I. has now taken the feud straight into the studio with a diss track. In the song, he calls 50 a fake New York dispatcher, essentially accusing him of being a snitch. Tip also mocks him as someone who acts tough online but not in real life. The lyrics get even more serious when T.I. claims he has paperwork from inmates that allegedly mention 50's name. In hip-hop culture, that kind of accusation is explosive, so the Harris family went all in. King delivered the personal attacks. T.I. fired back with a diss track, and 50 posted a frog meme. That's what makes this entire situation so fascinating. 50 Cent is someone who lost his mother to a brutal crime when he was 8 years old. He has openly admitted that the pain never fully healed. He has cried about it publicly and built television stories inspired by that experience. So when King Harris told him to dig up Sabrina Jackson, he was targeting the one subject that 50 rarely jokes about. The fact that 50 responded with lol doesn't necessarily mean it didn't hurt. It might simply mean he handled it the way he was taught to. When he was a kid growing up in Queens, he once described how his mother would respond when he cried. She would look at him and say, "Get up, what you over there crying for?" So 50 got up, he posted a meme, he wrote lol, and he kept moving. But the internet isn't likely to forget this moment anytime soon, and neither is 50 Cent, because what started as a social media jab between 50 and T.I. has now pulled King Harris into the middle of it. The situation marks 50's second feud with a rapper's son after his 2026 clash with Christian King Combs, the son of Diddy. For years, 50 has gone after rivals' families during his trolling campaigns. Now some of those kids are grown, and they're firing back in ways that cut much deeper. At this point, the feud is playing out across diss tracks, Instagram posts, and viral clips. Like many rivalries in hip-hop, it seems less about ending the conflict and more about seeing who outlasts the other. 50 started the latest chapter by posting that photo of Tiny. King Harris responded with one of the most personal attacks imaginable. T.I. answered with music, and 50 kept responding with memes. But beneath the jokes, the rants, and the diss records is a painful reality. A man who lost his mother at 8 years old and never saw justice for what happened. That part of the story is what really hits differently. Because beefs eventually fade away, diss tracks get forgotten, Instagram posts get deleted, but losing a parent, especially in a way that was never solved, stays with you forever. And 50 Cent knows that better than anyone. That's all for this one. Instagram posts in poses 1, 2. If you found this video informative, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one.